Hey guys, I'm so excited right now because I just got my package in the mail from Anastasia Beverly Hills, so let me show it to you. So if you're not familiar, she released new single eyeshadows. Before she just had some different palettes and stuff, but now they have single eyeshadows, and I did buy these myself. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter because I'm honest either way, but they do come in these single little pans and they come in this package. So I'm excited. I did get 18 shades and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them, the price point. Of course, this won't be a review. It will just be first impressions because I haven't used the products, but I'm definitely going to show you guys swatches and stuff like that. I pulled up some information off of Anastasia Beverly Hills Instagram account, which I love to follow. And so that's where I'm just going to be reading off just to make sure I get the information correctly. So you can buy the palette or the shadows individually. They just come in a pan. So you would probably need, and I don't know if they're magnetized. I'll have to see if they fit or if they stick in a Z palette without a magnet. So you're going to need a house for them basically is what I'm trying to say. Did you guys see that like jump out of my hand? Anyway, the singles are $12 each. And you get 1.7 grams or 0.59 ounces for the pan. And otherwise you can bundle. There's two bundling options. You can get 4 pans for $40, so $10 each versus 12, so that's a nice little price cut. And then for the best value, you can bundle 8 for $70. So that brings the price of the individual shadows down to about I think it's $8.75 each. And with that, you get the free 8-pan, they call it a well. They call it a well. It's not a pan. Let me show it to you. So, it has a little leaf thing like that, which I don't know if I'll hang on to that just because it's a lot of extra work to get in there. But you open it up, and it's kind of like that. So if you have the Anastasia contour palette, it's a similar situation where you add them and then it's not the same size though, they're different sizes. So I'm going to try to put in some images of the website because there's a couple different ways to purchase them. I know one of my girlfriends had issues and she got charged more because she didn't add these products to her cart correctly. So what I did was I clicked on, what did I click on? And again, I'll try to insert the picture here. I clicked on like 8-pan well eyeshadows, and then what I had to do was I had to drag and drop the colors of my choice into this online interactive 8-pan eyeshadow palette. So you drag and drop. So that's how I did it, and that's how I got them for the discounted price. And you also, if you're a pro member, you can use your pro discount on top of the discounted bundle price, which is even better. Makes them really affordable and easy to buy a lot of them like I did. And now I believe there are 83 new shades, and there's a variety, a ton of different finishes. And I think I got a couple of every finish just because I wanted to, you know, have a variety. So I don't have an order. I do have shade descriptions that I used when I was actually purchasing them. I wrote them down. This is my method of madness right here. If you can read my chicken scratch, that's how I went off of them, was by the finish and by the shade description, because obviously it's a brand new product and there's no swatches available out there that I found anyway. So I grabbed one of my Z palettes. This is just full of Morphe eyeshadows. So I'm just gonna see if this sticks to, if it's magnetized. So this is my unboxing, if you will. So it comes in that little pan. That's actually nice how it comes. I feel much better about it as far as it arriving, you know, shattered. So it's about the same size as a MAC or Makeup Geek eyeshadow. So let's see. Yep, it's magnetized, so that's awesome. So these are, again, our Morphe eyeshadows, which are about the exact same size as Makeup Geek and MAC eyeshadow pans. So that's awesome that they're the same size. I like that, because then you can, if you want to store them, like all your different brands together, which gives me anxiety. Mine have to be on their own and have friends of their own, if you know what I'm saying. But they will look okay if you store them that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these up off camera, and then I will zoom in and show you swatches, the close-up of the shadow, and then swatches and give you shade description. So I'll do that and I will be back. Okay, so I did organize mine a little bit just by color, just so you guys can see the differences between the shades. So I did make a little bit of a map. So I'm just going to show you and read off the colors set out like this, just so you guys can get an idea again, and then we'll do swatches. So I'm going to start right here. This top one, I'm just going to go over, and then I'll go down to the second row and over and down to the second row and over. So this one here is Bling, touch of lilac, stone, Birkin, China rose, and topaz. And then going down to the second row here, we have vanilla, and then 10K. I'm gonna use the brush as the pointer because that might be easier. So metal, gem, warm taupe, rose. And I'm gonna try to get a picture of this up on my Instagram and also my blog. Probably won't do swatches on there because I'll just keep the swatches to this video. But just so you guys can see a still shot, it might be easier than this. And then moving down to the third row here, and then over we have, let's see, Bone, Legend, Orange Soda, which I have in a palette, and I love it, so I had to order the single of it. And then Caramel, Dusty Rose, and Blushing. And then down to this one here, the bottom row. So here we have Blanc, Nude, and then right here, Soft Peach, Burnt Orange Matte, Custom, and Pink Champagne. So here is my palette. I'm really happy with the colors. Like I said, I ordered just based off of the shade descriptions alone, and I'm pretty happy with them. So let's do swatches. Okay, so I have the first 4 swatched, and they're super pale. Now keep in mind my skin is super duper pale. So the first one on the top is Bling. Bling is a satin finish described as a diamond white with light pink sparkle. Bling. And then the second one down is Vanilla. So there is Vanilla. It is a velvet finish described as a buttery white. Vanilla. And the third one down is Bone, which you can barely see. I mean, you can see it in my the crevices of my skin. It's very sheer. Bone, it is an ultra matte and described as an ivory. And so last on there was Blanc, and I actually I didn't write down the finish of it for some reason, so I'll just have it listed in the accompanying blog post so you can see all the descriptions together and the finish. So again, on top was Bling, and then Vanilla, Bone, and Blanc. Okay, for the second batch, I have up on top Touch of Lilac, 10K, Legend, and then Nude on the bottom. And then for shade descriptions, up on top again was Touch of Lilac. It is a metallic finish, and it's described as a frost white with lilac. I am super excited about that one. I love shades that are pretty neutral but have just a little kick of something different. So there's Touch of Lilac. And then this one is 10K. It is a satin finish described as a wheat gold. So I think they're satin finishes from what it seems like so far. The satin finishes seem to have like a little bit of a sheen to them. And then the third one down there is Legend. It is also a satin finish and described as a buttery gold with light pearl. So Legend. And then on the bottom is Nude. It's an ultra matte described as an ashy nude. It doesn't really look that ashy. It looks kind of warm toned to me. But up on top again is Touch of Lilac, 10K, Legend, and Nude. Okay, so batch number 3 up on top is Stone, Metal, Orange Soda, Soft Peach. And then for shade descriptions, Stone is an ultra matte and described as a light ash gray color. Pretty excited about that one because I usually don't go for cool tones too much, but I am excited about it. And then Metal is a titanium finish described as a silver gold. Anytime I can get an eyeshadow that has cool and warm tones, like a silver and gold all in one, I'm all for it. So super excited about that one. And then Orange Soda, the third one down, is an ultra matte also described as a pastel peach. And then on the bottom there is Soft Peach. It's an ultra matte described as a nude coral peach. So again, up on top we have Stone, Metal, Orange Soda, and Soft Peach. Okay, this is batch number 4. Up on top we have Birkin, Gem, Caramel, Burnt Orange Matte. And then shade descriptions, Birkin on top is an ultra matte. It's a warm beige mauve color. Super excited about that one. And then second one down is Gem. It's a satin finish. And their satin finishes are definitely more of a sheen. So when I think of satin, I think of a kind of a matte but not flat. But their satin finishes are definitely, all the ones that I've tried so far are definitely like have that sheen to them. So Gem, satin finish, soft peach brown color. That's the shade description. And then third down is Caramel, an ultra matte finish, warm medium brown. And then on the bottom there is Burnt Orange Matte. That's the name of it. It's an ultra matte and described as an orange brown. Now, the ultra matte finishes, they seem a little dry when I swirl my finger in them and then apply them, which they're not the softest mattes I've ever tried. But then again, I haven't had them on my eyes yet, so I can't speak to eye application. But just a note. Alright, so the next batch up on top is China Rose, Warm Taupe, Dusty Rose, and Custom. On the bottom, for shade descriptions, up on the top is China Rose. It is a duochrome described as a rosy peach. Second one down is Warm Taupe. It's an ultra matte described as a taupe brown. Third one down is Dusty Rose. It is a velvet finish. I think that's the first velvet that I've done so far. And described as a light lilac brown. So beautiful. So Dusty Rose. Custom on the bottom is a satin finish described as a light taupe gray. And the last batch I have up on top is Topaz, Rose, Blushing, and Pink Champagne on the bottom. So again, up on top is Topaz. It's a satin finish described as a bronze gold. Second one down is Rose. It's a metallic finish, which I love those so far. Described as a rose pink. The third one down is Blushing. It is a duochrome described as a rosy lilac. And I hope that's picking up how beautiful and unique it is on camera because it's really pretty. And then last on the bottom is Pink Champagne. It is a titanium pink beige with shimmer. So again, up on top we have Topaz, Rose, Blushing, and Pink Champagne. Okay guys, so those are my swatches of the 18 shadows that I picked up. And like I mentioned in the swatches, the ultra matte finishes are a tad dry. I mean, they feel soft, but when you grab the pigment, you have to swirl it around a little bit more, and you have to build it up a little bit more, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad product. I actually kind of like it when the pigmentation is not like wham bam, because you can really get a heavy hand really fast, really easy with those type of shadows. So I'm not saying that that's bad. I'll definitely have to report back after I get to use these on my eyes. And I also wanted to tell you guys that I probably won't use the palette or the well. I think it's, what do they call it? Like a well or palette where the little ones go in there. Just because I want to have all of mine together, housed under one roof in the Z palette. So I find I just like Z palettes. You can see them all and they just work really nice. And then also notable is that the MAC eyeshadow palettes, let me grab one. So the MAC palette that looks like this, these are MAC and Makeup Geek eyeshadows and a Makeup Geek blush in there, which the Makeup Geek eyeshadows and blushes do not adhere in there, see? They need to have a magnet on the back, and the Anastasia shadows do not have a metal or magnet on them. So if you put them in a palette like this, the MAC palette, you would need to put a magnet on the back of these little eyeshadows. But in the Z palette, they work just fine. So first impressions, I'm super excited. I think that the color range, 83 eyeshadow colors to choose from. The finishes are a great assortment, a great variety. And I think my favorites that I'm gonna be most excited to use are the titanium finishes, which I think I only have two, which is this one here. And you can see in the close-up how it looks super sparkly, almost like a pressed pigment from MAC. That's what it reminds me of. But it's smooth. It's so smooth. It doesn't feel super chunky or anything like that. And oops. See, look at that. So I am pleased with my neutral palette assortment that I chose. I chose really good. So I hope this video was helpful, and you guys will have to let me know if you're gonna get any of these, and if you want to see a look with them at all. I would definitely, you know, love to do like a demo or something, maybe like incorporate using these shadows into like a get ready with me or something like that. You guys just let me know down below. Right before I filmed this video, I did film my weekly favorites, the Beauty Buzz, and I thought that I would put that video up first, but I think I'm going to put this one up first just in case any of you are really eager to see like swatches and pictures, because I know there's not a lot of swatches out there because it's a new product. What I'm trying to say is that the Beauty Buzz will probably be up the following day that this is up. So I probably will have back-to-back videos because I have a lot of videos to share with you guys. So I'm gonna have quite a few coming your way. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.